all the connectors we got back here. We had the one to the seat switch, which is sitting, well, where is it? Right up here. This is the seat switch. And then it's plug mate right here, and then we've got the tail light assembly plug, and now we've got to pull apart the little, they're just push pins for the tail light light. And now we'll take off the, I'll take off the hinge assembly here. Two of the bolts are already missing from, those are the ones I took out in order to put the long bolts in for the top case. So let me go ahead and remove those. Okay, the tub is next thing it's got to come out, and we're going to have bolts. There's bolts down in here and bolts on top, and there's bolts in the front here, and then we got the bolts back in the back up in here, and then we got to go down in here and pull out the bolts that hold up the tail or the rear fender assembly, but it also holds up the brackets to my to the top case, which, but you wouldn't have that, but you still have these bolts inside to have to pull out. And there's 3 different types of nuts, actually 4 types of nuts that hold this thing on. You got these back here with a collar, and they're the longest ones, and those are the 4 back here. The 4 that hold the locking the seat lock mechanism have the shoulder washer, but they're shorter. And then there's 2 different kind of bolt with a B on top of them, or an 8. Yeah, an 8, and they go down in here in the hole. But there's 2 little, must be 8 millimeters maybe up front here. They're completely different, so we'll get to those next. But make sure you separate these guys, these shorter ones, from the longer ones when you're taking this tub part off. Those 2 little 8 millimeters I was telling you about up at the front, 8 millimeter heads, but they also have a collar on them. And I think I might put some tape on these guys just to keep everything together. There's also 4 more of these guys down here, and I would imagine they have the washers in there that have a shoulder on them. So each one of these little sets, I've got the 4 out of the tail piece here, so the fender is dropped down. But now I've got another bag for these 4, and then I got 2 bags in here, one for the short bolts and one for the long bolts. So that's a reasonable way to keep them all separated. Put each set in its own little bag. I guess I can do a little bit of show and tell here. And these go into the aluminum frame also, so I probably behoove you to put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads. Except they may be stainless. I'll have to check that going into the aluminum. They could have, by the looks of it, they're almost like there may be some sort of plug that's been jammed into the aluminum. Nah, couldn't be. Couldn't be. Another little goodie you need to take before you can pull the tub out is pull the cord for the plug for the light inside. God, this thing's complicated. It's almost like there's something else dragging around inside there. Okay, I got a couple push pins down here on the side that hold the that go in this way into the rear fender. I got to pull those out. I thought I could get away with leaving them in. Can't. Yeah, once you pull the side pins, they go in these holes right here, and then this falls right out. Okay, now that can come out. You've also got the hose here. I think this one is the, it comes out of the check valve, overflow valve here. And I think that one goes down to the canister. And it sets up in a side right in here, and a little snap, and then goes underneath. So you gotta pull it off, slip the clip back, slide it back, and then pull it off, and then pull it away. But now I believe, oh. You gotta pull out the electrical cable and the fuel light. And down on the fuel cap here, you have to pinch the sides in and then pull up, and then have a little, watch out, there's going to be under a little bit of pressure. And then you got the plug, just squeezes on the one side here, squeeze it in and lift. So those guys are out of the way now. And have I got any more here that have to be, I was thinking I had a vent tube. I've got the vent tube for the overflow when you put too much fuel here in this little bag. It's got to come loose, and it just pops out down here in a little hose. Okay. Thank God. That's off. And I still got to take the pump out. So you wipe everything down here and take it loose. And I got to pump the tank down too. So that's another. That's enough for today. But let me run loose here. And there's the tail end, and all the stuff off of it. And the electrical cable's coming up the side. Everything comes up to the end here. And the only thing I broke was the where this screw goes back in. I should have known better. I guess I don't know why I'm in a hurry for doing this on the video or what, but I'll figure out how to fix that without having to put a new piece in. So it's all off. And I can see why Yamaha would charge an arm and a leg to do this. Well, it's a new day. I went and siphoned out most of the gas out of the tank here. There's be a little bit left inside. I figured, well, what the hell, I've done a smoker. And I've also took my magic marker and marked forward. And then I've made up a cardboard with forward symbol on it. So I'll start taking off these guys. And this here is just something that fit over the probe in the middle to keep dust out of it. And not torqued very tight. Not very long. It's got a blue mark up here. I think that means something. I'll have to check the service manual out to see what it is. Probably a locator mark, that's up front. And it looks like the gasket is held in by a couple of little things there. Let me go around the other side so I'm not in the way. That's that on the workbench. And there's no stickum gasket in there. Looks like you have to bring it up and rotate it around to get this, kind of, you can see the shelf to clear the lip, and then you can get more room to bring over everything else. And then the filter, and then looks like the float comes out last. Looks like there might be some sediment down there. I may need to flush the tank or suck it out and stick my hand down there, but right now I'm just going to stick in something to keep the dust out.